Testing. Welcome to Allegheny College of Maryland. Men's baseball here this afternoon. Trojans taking on Potomac State. Catamounts traveling down about 20 miles away. Kaiser, West Virginia. Second meeting between these two teams. First time they got together was back on March 29th. The Trojans played at 6 runs in the ninth to scuttle the hopes of the Catamounts in a big win. He's always a measuring stick game between these two teams. Take a look at the lineups for each squad. First for the home Trojans, 21-13 on the season, 8-7 in the conference, 13-4 at home. Their last game was a split against Shenandoah, or rather a sweep over PG, 6-1 and then 18-4 under the direction of head coach Mason Hine, assistant coach Davey Reinhardt, and pitching coach Gary Timpton. Team as a squad bats .339 as a team. Taking a look at the lineup out in the field. Left to right, Daniel Burns playing left field. Center field, Christian Toledo. Right field, Julian Jennings. The hot corner for today's action, Dylan Jones, number 2. Shortstop, Greg Borges. Second base, Andrew Lynch. First base, Nazir Mendez. Doing the catching, Hunter Fiore. And doing the pitching, J.R. Luttrell. DH for today's game, Vince Dialarno Benavidez, number 8. Trojans in their home white uniforms, navy blue numbers, and lime green trim for the Catamounts. 15-10 team. Their last game was a split with Shenandoah, where they lost the first game 15-7, then rallied in the second for a 5-4 win under the direction of head coach Doug Little, assistant Don Schaefer. Take a look at their lineup in first at bat. Number 7, third baseman Cam Cole. Catamounts in the navy blue uniform, white numbers, and yellow trim, WVU colors, as Cole will step in and see the first dealing from Luttrell. First pitch taken for a ball just outside. Good spot, first pitch, just kind of feel out the batter. Just missed. Here's the second delivery. Inside, taken for a strike, 1-1. Catamounts as a team bat .303 on base percentage, .410. And they've knocked 12 over the fence as the third pitch taken for a strike, 1-2. So Luttrell works himself ahead in the count here. And the delivery. This one's a breaking ball that's hit into the gap in between left field and the center fielder, and under it for the out, left fielder Daniel Burns. Nice breaking pitch from Luttrell, but able to wait on it was Cole. That is a fly out to the left fielder, and one down here in the top of the first. Still a 0-0 score. Next up for the Catamounts, number 8, Dakota Miller, center fielder. And Luttrell deals. This one's driven. Left fielder under it. As Daniel Burns has retired 2 straight here. And Luttrell, after working to a fourth pitch of the opening batter, has secured 2 flyouts. And Jimmy Sadler, shortstop, number 29 for the Catamounts, will step in. Luttrell doing a nice job here, left-handed hurler. Kind of a sidewinder on some of his deliveries. As the pitch is outside, taken for a ball, 1-0. Kind of a nice windy day here at the Rock, soon to be referred to as Steve Bizarnik Field, Sunday, April 23rd. Doubleheader at high noon. The second pitch is taken for a strike. 1-1. Steve Bizarnik, legendary coach here at Allegheny College of Maryland. They will rename the field after him at 11:30 a.m. Open to the public is the big hook. In there for a strike, top of the zone. Sadler has to protect. This one's a breaking pitch. Gets him strike 3. 3 up, 3 down as Sadler goes down on strikes. And at the end of 1/2 inning, Trojans, no runs on no hits for the Catamounts. Bottom of the first coming up. Welcome back. Allegheny College of Maryland set to go here the bottom half of the first. Trojans able to retire the Catamounts. 3 up, 3 down as J.R. Luttrell settling in nicely. Got 2 flyouts to the left fielder and then got the last one at the plate. First strikeout for Luttrell in this game. Mentioned these two teams have seen one another before. It was back on March 29th where the Trojans rallied in the bottom half of the 9th inning to walk it off, scoring 6 runs en route to a 9-8 win. Standing in first for the Trojans, center fielder number 5, Christian Toledo. Their last meeting, Toledo went 2 for 5. Toledo from the Bronx, New York. Right-handed batter steps into the batter's box and dealing with some heat is Diego Barrett out of the zone, 1-0. First one also misses the mark, 2-0 here, as Toledo is ahead in the count here in the top half of the first inning. 0-0 between these two teams. Definitely a rivalry game anytime Catamounts and the Trojans get together, as Toledo squares around for a bunt, pulls back, and take it for a strike, 2-1. Outside corner got a piece of it, 2-2 here. So Barrett works back into the count, evens it up at double deuce. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and fouled out of play. It's about a 3-hopper into the parking lot. It's a 2-2 count for Toledo. Toledo batting .432. This one is an off-speed pitch inside corner that gets him swinging. Strikeout for Diego Barrett. 1 down here in the bottom half of the first. It's number 1, Greg Borges, the shortstop, stands in. Borges went 2 for 5 in their first meeting, drove in an RBI back on March 29th. And Borges batting .308 on the season. First pitch from Barrett. This one's driven right at the shortstop. He's going to have to come and get it. Close play at first base. Got him in time. Shortstop kind of waited back on it. I don't know if he was wondering if the third baseman was going to come across him and make the play with all the momentum, but able to get him in time as Borges is retired. 6-3. Out number 2. 2 down for Nazir Mendez. Mendez He's nationally ranked in several different categories, 8 in Division II in average, batting .484 and 27th in RBIs. He had 43 stakes on the season. This one inside to the first baseman. Mendez from Nationwide Academy, New York, New York. This one taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. First one inside, second one outside. So Barrett really working the zone here against a very dangerous left-handed hitter. This one high and out of the zone, taken for a ball. Now 2-1 to Mendez. You could say he's seeing the ball well. .484 on base percentages, .587 as this one's inside. Take it for a strike. It's now a 2-2 count to Mendez. Has to protect. Let's see what Barrett comes up with. Right-handed pitcher. He's shown a lot of speed on these pitches. This one is a breaking pitch. Swung on and chopped towards the second baseman. And in time to get Mendez at first. So at the end of one full inning, no runs on no hits. 0-0. We go to the top half of the second after this. Top half of the second inning here, 0-0 game between the Trojans and the traveling Catamounts. Start off the second inning is Nick Rubenhall, DH, number 9 for the Catamounts. Last time these two teams got together, Rubenhall went 0-2 at the plate, but drew 3 walks, as well as an RBI, as the first one's out of the zone in the dirt, taken for a ball, 1-0. Wind is whipping out from the batter's box towards center field as this one's an off-speed pitch. It's chopped and able to field his position and in time. Nice play by J.R. Luttrell after a quick bobble, throws it over to Mendez. And just like that, it's a 1-3 retirement of the DH. And Rubenhall goes down. Just barely got a piece of that pitch and chopped it right in between the second baseman and the pitcher. As Morgan Little, first baseman number 5, steps in for Potomac State. J.R. Luttrell, this one out of the zone, taken for a ball, 1-0. Morgan Little, first baseman, went 2 for 3 with 2 stakes in their first meeting. This one a breaking pitch, gets a piece of the outside corner. Strike 1, 1-1. Luttrell deals this one right down the pike, taken for a strike, showing some heat and reaching back that time. Now 1-2 on Little. As the delivery goes out of the zone, just a bit out of the zone. Too high, taken for a ball, 2-2. Mentioned Little went 2 of 3, 2 RBIs in their first meeting. And the delivery from Luttrell. Out of the zone. Now a full count here. Full count. The pitch. This one's chopped into shallow center, coming over to handle it for the out. is Greg Borges. So now 2 down here as Little flies out the shallow center. And Chris Sutton, the catcher, number 11, stands in for his first appearance in this ball game. Luttrell to pitch. This one's hacked out of play. Mendez trying to range over near the bullpen. Not in time, out of play. 0-1 on the foul tip. Sutton from Calhoun, Georgia, Cobb County. Freshman 6'3", 180. Went 1 for 3 back in their first meeting in March, driving in 2. Here's the pitch. Just misses. 1-1. This one, same spot, just misses again. Now 2-1. Good location. As a batter, it's hard to lay off that pitch. Comes in, kind of just tails off. Is this one a breaking pitch right down the pike? Take it for a strike. Now 2-2. Luttrell has 1 K to his name. He's gotten a fly out. And this one right down the pike strikes him out to end the inning. At the end of 1.5 for the Catamounts. No runs on no hits. Bottom of the second coming. Trojans set to bat. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Rock. Allegheny College in Maryland. Battle between the Catamounts and the Trojans. Thus far, both pitchers not really even getting into jams, but able to work throughout the first inning and a half. So on the mound for the Catamounts, Diego Barrett with a strikeout to his name, and through 1 full inning, Gerald Luttrell has 2 strikeouts. Hasn't surrendered a runner yet on the base paths. Stepping in for the Trojans, number 3, the right fielder, Julian Jennings. Jennings batting .313, takes the first for a strike. Jennings went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs in their first meeting. Second pitch hit right up the middle, and we have our first base runner of the game. It's a base knock for Jennings that puts the Trojans on the base pass here in the top half of the second. It's right up the middle, shot middle, right back at Barrett. And the Trojans have a runner aboard. Jennings with his first hit of the ball game, and Andrew Lynch will step in for the Trojans. Short Gap, West Virginia, went to Frankfort High School. First pitch to Lynch, hits him on the back, and the Trojans have put 2 aboard. Lynch able to wear one here. They have runners at first and second. And Dylan Jones, third baseman, number 2, will stand in. Jones batting .263. Has 2 dingers to his name this season. And the delivery, this one fouled out of play right behind the Potomac State dugout. Interesting stat for Jones. In their first meeting, he went 0 for 5, but drove in 2 RBIs, a couple of sac flies, always get the job done. Again, the Trojans rallied from down 5 to walk it off in their first meeting. Second pitch out of the zone, 1-1. On base percentage for Jones, .386. This one off speed pitch just misses inside. Too low, and now a 2-1 count. And Barrett, with no outs and 2 on, will have to settle down here, try and weather this storm. Delivery to Jones, high and in. Just missed him, now 3-1. Three-one count, 2 on, no out. And the delivery from Barrett. Swung on, not in time. Barrett really reached back that time and gassed one through the pike. 3-2 full count. Runner in scoring position, our first men on throughout this game for both of these teams as the Trojans open up the bottom half of the second with 2 runners on. The delivery to Jones. This one, he hacks into the gap into right field, a little big. Well, this should score 1. They hold him at third and juice the bases as Jones, with a nice base knock, gets aboard, and the Trojans have the bags lit up for number 19, Hunter Fiore, the catcher. Batting .339, on base percentage .425. 1 home run this season. And with no outs and the bases loaded, a big spot for Hunter Fiore. The pitch, a hook, catches the top half of the zone, taken for a strike. As the batter, all the pressure's on the pitcher to hit the zone, hit the mat. Bases loaded, 0-1. Off-speed pitch and a pretty one by Barrett. Works the count to 0-2. Jennings on third, Lynch on second, Jones on first. 0-2 count to the catcher. Inside, called, strike 3. Just got enough of it as Barrett gets his second strikeout from the bump, and Vince Leonardo Benavidez, the DH number 8, steps in a big spot. High and in, taken for a ball here. As Leonardo Benavidez watches the second one trail out of the zone. Nice job by the catcher to keep that from being a pass ball and possibly the first run on the board. 0-2. Leonardo Benavidez at the dish. 2-0 count, I'm sorry. 2-0 count. And the pitch taken for a strike. Some sort of horn went off in the background as the pitch came in. If we were playing golf, that would be a big-time no-no. It's both the pitcher and the batter were in their backswing. This one hits the batter, and they're going to send one around as Julian Jennings will come in to score, and Vince Leonardo Benavidez wears one. Second hit by a pitch as he's aboard, and we have our first run of the game. 1-0 Trojans, and the bases stay loaded. Left fielder Daniel Burns will stand in here for the Trojans. He went 1 for 4 in their first meeting. First pitch, high and just enough of the zone, called for strike. Burns on the season batting .231. As the second one just misses, 1-1. Barrett really popping the mid here. He's reaching back and really touching the gun. But can he work out of this jam as the third delivery misses outside? 2-1. Bases loaded here. Lynch at third. Jones at second. DeLeonardo Benavidez at first. No one out. Taken for a strike on a check swing. Now 2-2 to Burns. Left fielder retired 2 straight batters on flies in the top half of the first inning. Defensively sound, looking for a big moment at the plate, just out of the zone. Taken for a ball, 3-2. Some would say that all the pressure's on the hitter. I think with a full count, you have to touch a piece of the plate or really know your batter here as Barrett deals. This one's driven back to the center fielder, tagging up his Lynch. And he'll come in as the ball comes into the infield to the third baseman. And Burns has an RBI flyout to the center fielder. 2-0 Trojans lead. Trojans lead. And Christian Toledo back around again. Stands in with 2 outs. And 2 on. First pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. Toledo Cade in his first appearance at the dish. The Trojans looking for their 22nd win of the season, 21-13. They're 13-4 at home as Toledo watches the second trail out of the zone. Taken for a ball, 1-1. 2 runs thus far in this half inning on just 1 hit. 2 hit by a pitch. And then a sac fly as Toledo again watches it trail out of the zone. And Barrett is again run into a little bit of trouble here. The 2-1 count, 2 aboard, and 2 already on the side of the scoreboard that reads home. The delivery swung on, not in time, 2-2. So Barrett battles back here. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2. In the bottom half of the second, as Vin Scully would say, the deuces are wild. Toledo, the pitch, foul tip out of play. Tell you what, Diego Barrett really can bring the heat when he wants to. And that one was just right down Broadway, and Toledo was able to get a little bit of wood on it to stay at the plate. 2-2 count here in the bottom half of the second. Trojans looking to add more. The pitch. This one's roped at the center fielder, coming up to get it and making the catch. Nice play that time out in center field by Dakota Miller. And at the end of 2 full innings, 2 runs on 1 hit. Trojans lead 2-0. Top half of the third coming after this. Top half of the third here. Potomac State behind by 2 runs, 2-0 after the Trojans plated 2 on just 1 hit. Back on the mound, J.R. Luttrell. First pitch off speed to number 27, Zach Brennan, the left fielder, his first appearance. Potomac State yet to get a runner aboard. They fly it out 3 times, grounded out once, and struck out twice. As the second pitch, taken for a strike, now 0-2. Zach Brennan will have to protect here as the pitch out of the zone in the dirt and throwing it down to first to get the official out on the K, Zach Brennan. Third strikeout for J.R. Luttrell. Luttrell's got 3 Ks so far throwing. A strong game as Quintanilla will step in here, the right fielder. Sorry, the second baseman. Got ahead of myself. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. This one right at the shortstop, over to get it, throws over to Mendez in time. 6-3 punch out. As Quintanilla wasted no time, second delivery from Luttrell, and he grounds out. 2 up, 2 down. And Sammy Bradfield will step in for the Catamounts. First pitch, hooks and gets a piece of the top half of the strike zone. Taken for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 count, the delivery from Luttrell out of the zone, misses. Bradfield was a standout football player at Kaiser, obviously also a baseball player, 5'10", 180, freshman from the Golden Tornado. This one out of the zone, able to hold, slam on the brakes. It's now a 2-1 count to Bradfield. No on, 2 outs. Luttrell with 3 strikeouts, and since then has gotten flyouts and groundouts. And the fourth pitch misses high, now 3-1 to Bradfield. 3-1 count, the delivery. Hook inside, Bradfield takes it, and he is aboard on the walk. First base runner for the Catamounts in this game. As coming all the way back around, Catamounts. Number 7, Cam Cole, the third baseman, steps in. Cole flied out to the left fielder in his first at bat in the top half of the first inning. The 15-10 Catamounts would love to go into Cumberland and come back across the Potomac with a W, but they're behind here in the third. 2-0. Pitch inside, taken for a strike. Good location from Luttrell in this game. He's really changed the eye level of the hitter throughout each at bat, inside, outside. A couple breaking pitches to kind of keep the batters honest. Surrendering his first base runner with that walk to Bradfield as this one's chopped. Ball tailing towards the line. It's in there in right field. Bradfield around second, on third, and they're going to hold him at 3. Has 2 on here with 2 outs. Bradfield over to third. From the walk, and Cam Cole, a stand-up double. Big shot down the line as he was late on the pitch. Got enough wood on it to keep it fair, but it tailed right towards the line. And able to range over and get to it in time and hold the runner at third, Julian Jennings. Nice job to get the ball back into the infield. 2 runners in scoring position, and Dakota Miller, the center fielder, in. It's the first pitch. Late on it. This one fouled over by the bullpen. Visiting team bullpen, 0-1. So you're starting to see here in the second and third innings, these teams really starting to understand pitchers and get their timing down. Luttrell up into this inning has thrown a gem. This one cracked at the right fielder. Jennings back to come and get it. Dives, but it's in there. And able to score 2 runs on that hit are Potomac State, as Bradfield will come around to score, and Cam Cole off the double will score. Dakota Miller with a double and 2 RBIs. Tie ball game, 2-2. Jimmy Sadler, shortstop, stands in. He struck out looking in his first at bat. Luttrell trying to settle down here and delivers. High and out of the zone, taken for a ball, 1-0. Their first meeting was a 9-8 knockdown, drag-out fight, and this one's shaping up to be much of the same. As Luttrell deals this one out of the zone, now 2-0. Sadler, a lefty. Shows a lot of speed on the base paths. 2-0 pitch. The hook just out of the zone, and it's now 3-0. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs, and a 3-0 count. Luttrell trying to settle things down here and get back in rhythm. Luttrell's delivery just misses high, and he'll walk Sadler. So Sadler's aboard. Runners at second and first. And Nick Rubenhall, the DH, who grounded back to Luttrell on his first at bat, will stand in here right after this mound visit from the Trojans. Mound visit over. And Rubenhall, DH, looking for his first hit here with 2 down and 2 aboard. The pitch from Luttrell, taken for a strike. 0-1 to Rubenhall. Rubenhall in their first meeting drew 3 walks, drove in an RBI. As the delivery from Luttrell, this one's roped into the gap in between the center fielder and left fielder. 1 run will come in as the runners will be held at first and second, and a big shot from Nick Rubenhall that sends Sadler to second, scores 1, and the Trojans now down 3-2. Big RBI knock there from Nick Rubenhall. As Morgan Little, the first baseman, who flew out to the shortstop in shallow center, stands in. First pitch from Luttrell, taken for a strike, 0-1. 3-2, Catamounts lead. Trojans struck first with 2 runs of their own, and the Catamounts have battled back into this game now with the lead. Luttrell's delivery reaches back. This one's tailing towards the left field line, over to try and come get it are the Trojans, and we're waiting on a signal. And a nice play that time, out of play by the left fielder, Daniel Burns. At the end of 2 1/2 innings, 3 runs on 2 hits. 3 hits. Catamounts lead 3-2. We'll be back. Welcome back. Allegheny College of Maryland men's baseball here action. As the Trojans surrender 3 runs. In the top half of the third inning, Catamounts lead 3-2. Trojans really saw the pitches of Diego Barrett well in the bottom half of the last inning, as the first pitch to Greg Borges taken for a strike, 0-1. Borges grounded out to the shortstop in his first appearance. Went 2 for 5 with an RBI in their first meeting. This one a breaking pitch, slider across the zone, just misses low, 1-1. This one driven into the outfield, center fielder under it and retired. As Dakota Miller ranges over and makes the play, and Borges flies out to the center fielder, 1 down here in the bottom half of the third inning. Nazir Mendez, left-handed first baseman, stands in. As I mentioned at the top half of the broadcast, he's 8th in the country in Division II in batting average, .484. First pitch taken for a strike. Second taken for a strike, and he's behind 0-2. Grounded out to the second baseman in his first appearance. 0-2 count. This one just out of the zone, trying to get Mendez chasing, but he holds off. 1-2 now. Mendez also 27th in the nation in RBIs, driving in 43 already this season in 34 games. Breaking pitch comes right back into the zone, catching Mendez looking, strike out. 2 down quickly here for Diego Barrett of the Catamounts, and Julian Jennings will stand in. The right fielder got on and then scored in the last half inning. First runner aboard, and then the first run across for the Trojans is the first delivery. Inside misses, 1-0. Jennings started the rally in the last half inning, did score before Lynch was popped, and this is a high shot in the outfield. Wind is blowing out, but under it is the left fielder, and 3 up, 3 down as Zach Brennan comes over to make the play. Jennings flies out, and the Trojans are down in short order. The end of 3 full innings. 3-2 Catamounts lead. Trojans go down, no runs, no hits. We'll be back after this. Top half of the fourth inning for the Catamounts. They lead the Trojans here at the Rock. Allegheny College of Maryland, Wednesday afternoon baseball. They just play one here today, but all eyes are set on April 23rd, Sunday afternoon game, high noon, where they will dedicate the field to head coach Steve Bizarnik. 6-7-8 up for the Catamounts. First pitch delivered to Chris Sutton, the catcher, out of the zone, taken for a ball. Sutton struck out in his first plate appearance back in the second inning. Here's the pitch to Luttrell. This one fired down the left field line. Foul. 1-1. Luttrell took his lumps in the third inning, but the first 2 3 strikeouts to his name before things got dicey, but it looks like he's dialed back in. As Sutton stands in, this one's chopped at the second baseman. Throws over to Mendez in time. Nice play by Andrew Lynch. Just like that, it goes 4-3 for the first out. Zach Brennan, who also struck out in his first plate appearance back in the third inning, last inning, now up the left fielder. Brennan made a nice play and a high drive out to the warning track in the last half inning for the Trojans. First pitch to him, trails out of the zone, take it for a ball, 1-0. One-zero pitch. So Hook, this one, tailed down the first base line, lands foul. Now 1-1 pitch, rather count to Brennan. One down. Here in the top half of the fourth. 3-2. Catamounts lead. The pitch from Luttrell. Taken for a strike. Just got enough of the strike zone. Now 1-2. Nice location from Luttrell. As Zach Brennan stands in. The pitch. Low and in the dirt, trying to get him to chase. 2-2. Brennan from Morgantown, West Virginia. West Virginia State University at Potomac State College, officially known, playing for the Catamounts here. And Brennan will take a short time out with a 2-2 count, one down here in the top half of the fourth. Luttrell ready to deal. High and out of the zone, misses. 3-2, full count. Trojans looking for their 22nd win of this season. Catamounts looking for their 16th. Pitch, this one down the middle. It's driven out to the right fielder, back on it. And able to make the play is Julian Jennings. As Brennan got nice wood on it. But Jennings was able to range back and get under it for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down, as Quintanilla will stand in. He waited just until the second pitch of his first at bat to ground out to the shortstop, and the first pitch on this trip taken for a strike, as Luttrell still showing nice velocity here in the fourth inning. Quintanilla stands in. The pitch from Luttrell. Hook just misses on the top half outside corner. 1-1. Trojans trail 3-2 here at the Rock, Allegheny College of Maryland. Pitch taken for a strike to Quintanilla. That one just got enough of the lower half of the zone. Now 1-2. Luttrell really working the zone inside, outside, changing the eye level of the hitter. It goes back down low, but this one misses. 2-2 count. Now it's double deuce, 2-2, 2 outs, no one aboard here in the top half of the fourth inning for the Catamounts. Pitch from Luttrell, a hook. Tried to get Quintanilla to chase. He does not, and now it's a full count here. Big spot here for Luttrell. Retired the first 2 batters, 1 fly out, 1 ground out. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and struck him out. Catcher drops the ball, but throws it over to Mendez. And a big K for J.R. Luttrell. 3 up, 3 down. And after 3.5 innings, no runs on no hits. J.R. Luttrell dialed back in. We'll be back for the bottom half after this. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Trojans trail 3-2. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 slot as Andrew Lynch, Frankfurt grad, second baseman, wore one in his first at bat. Ended up getting stranded. Came around to score. And for his second at bat, first pitch, out of the zone from Barrett, 1-0. Lynch, as I mentioned, from Frankfurt High School, 6'2", 200. Second one also misses from Barrett. It's now 2-0. Barrett's third delivery also misses low and outside, 3-0. Barrett settles and delivers. This one cracked and chopped down to third base. Lynch is going to have to dig. Close play, but able to scoop it at first base for the out is Morgan Little. And Lynch, 5-3. Close play at first base. First out of the inning. Now batting for the Trojans. Number 2, Dylan Jones, third baseman. Singled in his first trip. And wasting no time as this one's fouled straight back. You know, I parked about 2 rows back and that nearly came close. Second delivery after the foul tip just misses the zone. Now 1-1. Dylan Jones, a third baseman. I think the Catamounts hurler not too happy with the strike zone here as this one runs inside but curves right back into the heart of the plate. Take it for a strike. Now 1-2 to Jones. His first trip, he worked to a full count for delivering a single. Here's the pitch. This one also a breaking pitch, but he gets a piece, fouls it straight back, and it's starting to feel like their first at bat, where Jones, with a full count, was able to protect and get a piece of it before he finally drove one into the gap, went straight up the middle, right back at Barrett. This one's driven back by the scoreboard, way back, and that is a no-doubter. Touch 'em all, Dylan Jones. Jones now 2 for 2 on the day, and that one well over the scoreboard has tied up the game at 3 apop. Big shot from Dylan Jones. And Jones is just turned up. 3-3 ball game on one crack of the bat. Left fielder even barely moved. As now standing in the catcher, Hunter Fiore. First one taken for a strike. Fiore struck out in his first at bat in the second inning. This one chopped towards the second baseman. Quintanilla over and in time for the second out of the inning. Nice play by Quintanilla. 4-3 for the second out of the inning, but it's a 3-3 ball game on Dylan Jones' moonshot over the scoreboard. So that's a good 400-foot shot. As now up and quickly with it, DiLeonardo Benavidez has to run, but not in time, rather in time to get DiLeonardo Benavidez. Shortstop pretty play. It's Jimmy Sadler. Retires the batter at first. And at the end of 4 full, it's a tie ball game. Trojans, 1 run on 1 hit. We'll be back for the top half of the 5th after this. Top half of the fifth here for the Catamounts. 3-3 ball game on one crack of the bat as Dylan Jones goes yard. Ties up the game at 3. His first home run of this, his third home run of the season. Jones lost one deep, well over the scoreboard. Knot this game up at 3 apiece. Starting off the fifth inning at the plate, Kaiser grad Sammy Bradfield, the right fielder. Bradfield got aboard and then scored back in the third inning. First pitch, right down the pike, not in time. Bradfield fouls it off over the visitor bullpen. 0-1. If I remember correctly, Bradfield was a standout. I want to say he was a tight end and then also kind of a scat back for the Golden Tornadoes. Second pitch, this one out of play. Mendez coming over to get it and does. Out of play. Nazir Mendez flashing some leather out of play under it, and the fly out to the first baseman retires the first batter of the fifth inning for the Catamounts. Top half of the order coming up now. Number 7, Cam Cole, who had a line drive double and eventually scored. Also flew out to the left field in the first inning. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Their first meeting drew 3 walks, drove in one, and went 1 for 2 at the plate. It's back in March, day after my birthday. Neither team got me anything. A little bit upset about that, if I'm honest. No mention, no cake, no pie, no punch. 1-1. Luttrell deals. This one out of the zone and fouled back into the parking lot. It hit a BMW, a Camry, and settles under a Jeep. 1-2 count to Cole. Luttrell deals. Breaking ball out of the zone, trying to get him to chase. Nice location with 2 strikes from Luttrell. But Cole wasn't to be fooled. It's now a 2-2 count. 2-2 pitch. High in the zone, able to hold back is Cole, and now it's a full count. And we'll see what Luttrell has in his bag here to try and get the third baseman out. The pitch, it's a hook. This one's driven into shallow center. Coming over to get it is the right fielder. And a beautiful play from Julian Jennings. Ran about a 4.3 40 to come over to make that play in shallow center, but he does. And now 2 outs for the Catamounts as Dakota Miller, the center fielder, stands in. From Newport, Ohio, went to Marietta. This one out of the zone. Miller also hitting a double back in the third inning, drove in 2 RBIs. And in the first inning, flew out to the left fielder as well. So that third inning, Cole and Miller back-to-back. After flying out to the left fielder in the first inning, both hit doubles. 1-0. The pitch from Luttrell. The hook just misses, unable to get it to get a piece of that high outside portion of the strike zone. It's now a 2-0 count. 2-0, 2 outs here in the top half of the fifth. Luttrell deals. This one right down the middle, but the umpire says just inside. It's now a 3-0 count. For Luttrell, you have to hit the mid of the strike zone. For Miller, do you take that into account and have a green light is taking something off of it? Luttrell, big cut from Miller, but he's well ahead of it. And Luttrell now works it to a 3-1 count. 3-1, 2 outs. J.R. Luttrell trying to claw back into this count. This one down low. He reached back and really put something on that. And now we have ourselves a full count. 3-2 count. Dakota Miller with a double and 2 RBIs, trying to pad his average here. The pitch. Off speed. This one fouled out of play right in front of the Trojans bench or bullpen. I'm sorry. Dugout. I'll get it. Run out of baseball terms. Stays 3-2. Wind again picking up here. Now blowing from right field over to left field. And this one's out of the zone. And Dakota Miller draws a walk. He's aboard. Now batting for the Catamounts, Jimmy Sadler. Sadler got on in the third inning before being stranded at second base. Struck out in the first inning. He's 1 for 2 here in a 3-3 ball game with 2 outs, a runner aboard, and the first pitch. This one a pretty hook from Luttrell. Full Sadler, and it's now 0-1. Sadler, a left-handed shortstop, has some speed to him. He's going to be quick out of the box, so if it is a chopper, as Luttrell checks the runner at first, not in time. Close play. Oh, 0-1, 2 outs. Luttrell sets and delivers. Check swing, but they say he went at the plate, so it's now 0-2. Sadler's going to have to protect, and Luttrell can use the motley of his tools to try and get out of this half inning. The pitch. High cheese, got him. Strikeout for Luttrell. He's having a big day, his 5th strikeout of the game, and after 4.5 innings, no runs on no hits for the Catamounts. Stays 3-3, bottom half of the 5th, coming back after this. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Daniel Burns, left fielder number 29, flied out but drove in 1 back in the 2nd. So he'll be the first batter of the bottom half of the 5th. And Diego Barrett deals, but misses out of the zone, 1-0. Second one from Barrett. This one. Contact is made, shallow right field. Second baseman coming out, but under it is the right fielder to retire. Burns, Sammy Bradfield ranging over. So I mentioned that wind is kind of swirling around the rock here. As Burns flies out for the second time, does have an RBI, and we're back to the top of the order with Christian Toledo stepping in for his 3rd at-bat of the day. Struck out in the 1st, flied out in the 2nd. Looking to start things here for the Trojans, the bottom half of the 5th. Barrett deals, high and outside, take it for a ball, 1-0. Second one fouled straight back, 1-1. Toledo batting .432 on the season. He's driven in 28 RBIs, drawn 20 walks, has 4 dingers. As this one's hit right up the middle, Toledo's on. With 1 down, 1 runner aboard. And the Trojans have something cooking here in the bottom half of the 5th. Greg Borges 0 for 2 in this game. Flew out in the 3rd. Grounded out in the 1st. And we'll stand in here shortstop. Batting .308 on the season. Barrett will check the runner at first. And deliver. This one's driven deep. That one's back. Left fielder back to the wall, into the trees. Good night. A 2-run shot for Greg Borges. And the Trojans have added 2 runs and ended the tie 5-3. Big shot from Borges. That's one way to pick up a hit in the game after being 0 for 2. As the shortstop drives in too quick, and it's a 5-3 ball game. And next up, it doesn't get much easier for Diego Barrett. So he'll face off against the first baseman, Nazir Mendez. Mendez grounded out in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd. First one taken for a ball, 1-0. Second one swung on for a strike, now 1-1. This one high and in, taken for a ball, 2-1. Trojans lead 5-3 here. Bottom half of the 5th inning after Toledo got on. Borges drove him in, and this 4th pitch, just misses. Low for a 3-1 count. Diego Barrett has been a little bit perturbed at the inconsistent strike zone by his merit. As the 5th pitch catches the top half of the zone, we have ourselves a full count. Barrett deals. This one swung on right at the shortstop and over in time to retire Mendez. 6-3 for the out. Second out of the inning. And Julian Jennings, the right fielder, will step in here in the bottom half of the 5th with 2 down and a 5-3 lead. Jennings scored in the 2nd inning. Flied out to the left fielder in the 3rd inning. First pitch swung on and misses. 0-1. The delivery from Barrett, he's reaching back and really bringing it. 0-2 now to Jennings. This one cracked over to the 3rd baseman, trying to make the play. It's going to be close, but in time by a half step as Jennings goes down 5-3 for the final out. And at the end of 5 full innings, it's a 5-3 lead as the Trojans plate 2 on 2 hits. 5-3, top of the 6th coming up after this. Top half of the sixth inning for the Catamounts. They trail the Trojans here at the Rock, Allegheny College of Maryland, the site for today's Wednesday afternoon baseball. Just playing one between the Catamounts and the Trojans. Catamounts trying to even the score after they lost to the Trojans in a 6-run debacle in the bottom half of the ninth in their first meeting back in March. They trail 5-3 as Ruben Hall, the DH, takes the first pitch, drives it into shallow right center, and Julian Jennings over and under it retires the batter on the fly. One down here in the sixth inning, top of the sixth. And Morgan Little, number 5, the first baseman, steps into the left-hander batter box. Hook just misses. 1-0. Little has flied out twice in this game in the second and third innings, respectively. Big hit for Luttrell, just gets enough of it. 1-1. See some of the men's basketball players here supporting the Trojans baseball team, as the baseball team does for the basketball players. See Ron Brown in attendance, as well as Christian Champagne. Little fouls one near the track, so it's a 1-2 count here. He's behind in the count. And Luttrell trying to punch him out with the delivery. Low in the zone, kicks up some dirt. 2-2. Top half of the sixth inning, Trojans lead 5-3. 2 big home runs in this game from the Trojans. As the hook gets Little out of the zone, throws it down, and for the 6th time, J.R. Luttrell is K'd a batter as Little goes down on 5 pitches. 2 down here in the top half of the sixth is Chris Sutton. The catcher will step in. He's grounded out and struck out in this game, looking for his first hit. First pitch, this one is driven into the gap. Jennings is going to have to come in as the second baseman goes out. But unfortunately unable to make the play. That is an error that'll put Sutton aboard. So the Catamounts with some life after that error in the field, and Zach Brennan will step in. He struck out in the third and flew out to Julian Jennings in the fourth. Pitch from Luttrell, high and out, misses. 1-0. Fourth inning, Brennan worked it to a full count before flying out to Jennings. Is a selective batter, but can put the ball in play. The second delivery also misses outside. And the pitcher and catcher are going to have a little conference here. A little late for a flyover, but we'll take it. As Brennan will stand in here. 2-0 count. The pitch. Inside, just misses. 3-0. Luttrell starting to show a little bit of fatigue here in the sixth. But also mentally, you have to feel like you were supposed to get out of that inning. But after the error, just trying to redial here. Reaches back, hits the mid and the strike zone. 3-1. Nice recovery from Luttrell. Three-one count, 2 down here in the top half of the sixth. Catamounts trying to answer. This one misses outside, and now 2 runners aboard as Zach Brennan walks. And Chris Sutton off the air stands at second. 2 on, 2 out. And Coyce Quintanilla, the second baseman, will step in. Grounded out to the shortstop in the third. Struck out on a full count in the fourth. And with 2 down and 2 on, it's a marquee matchup between these two. As Luttrell will settle. Check the runner at second and first. And deal. This one off the end of the bat at the shortstop. Looking towards third. Got to hurry it. And in time, gets the easy out at third base, much to the chagrin of the third base coach of Potomac State. A lot of chatter with the field umpire. But he goes down on the fielder's choice. And at the end of 5.5 innings, no runs on no hits for the Catamounts. Trojans holding on to a 5-3 lead, bottom half of the 6th after this. Bottom half of the 6th inning coming for the Trojans, and a new pitcher for the Catamounts, Ben McDougal from Bridgeport, West Virginia. Both he and Anthony Dixon, pitchers that come to Kaiser from Bridgeport. Both freshmen, both lefties. As Ben McDougal will get warmed up here for the Catamounts. Really hoping the wind picks up because, I'm getting popped. Reason my audio cut out, I had to run down near the river to pick up my papers after the wind picked up. Wind still blowing from right field to left. Ben McDougal now on the mound for the Catamounts. As Diego Barrett, 5 full innings of work, giving up 5 earned. Starting out the bottom half of the 6th, number 10, Andrew Lynch, second baseman for the Trojans. Lynch from Short Gap, West Virginia, long commute to move into school. And we'll see what McDougal has. He is a lefty. Lynch was hit by a pitch and scored in the second, grounded out in the fourth, and the first one he takes for a ball out of the zone, 1-0. 5-3 Trojans lead. McDougal quick with it. Nice velocity, but misses low. Now 2-0. Lynch looking for his first hit of the game. Standing in. Right-handed batter, lefty pitcher, high and out. Now 3-0 from McDougal to Lynch. Bottom half of the 6th inning, both teams really would love to have this win on their record. As he misses high and out on 4 straight pitches, and Andrew Lynch, for the second time in this game, draws a walk. The first one he had to earn and wear. Second one, he takes a quick walk down to first base. 1 runner aboard, and Dylan Jones will stand in. Jones back in the fourth inning. Hit a nice drive, towering over the left field wall on the scoreboard. He is 2 of 2 in this game with an RBI. His solo shot tied the game up then at 3 apiece. And with a runner at first and no outs, Jones settles and takes the second pitch for a strike, now 1-1. Jones had 2 RBIs in their first meeting, but went 0 for 5. A couple of sac flies there. As they'll check the runner at first, and Lynch is quickly back over to the pad. In there safe. 1-1 count. Third baseman Dylan Jones waiting on the delivery from McDougal. Checks the runner and deals. Nice breaking pitch. Freezes Jones for the second strike. Now 1-2. Dylan Jones. DJ trying to keep it perfect at the dish. 1-2 count. Nobody out, 1 aboard. McDougal settles. This one high and out. Misses the spot, 2-2. Jones worked the count in both of his first 2 at-bats. As McDougal will check Lynch again at first. But not in time, not really even close. Still a 2-2 count here. Bottom half of the 6th inning. And Jones take a timeout here. And regather. 2-2 count. Runner at first. And they'll check Lynch again. Lynch has only stolen 3 bases on the season. It's not an indictment on Lynch. I'm just trying to get inside the Catamounts hurler's head while he keeps checking the runner at first. The delivery to Jones, high and out, misses. Now a full count once again. Thus far in this game for DJ, it seemed like he's hitting a beach ball with an oar. Big single and then a solo shot as McDougal deals. Right down the pike, and again Dylan Jones fouls straight back. He's done that now twice in this game on full counts. The last time I made a mention of that, he went yah-yah. McDougal gathers from the stretch. The pitch, this one's hit over to the right side, able to get it. They look for the force at second in time to get the lead runner. And on the fielder's choice, Dylan Jones is aboard. One down, one on. As Lynch was really booking over to second base. But able to make the play. Second baseman Quintanilla getting the lead runner on the fielder's choice. Hunter Fiore stands in, struck out in the second, grounded out in the fourth, looking for his first hit with a runner aboard and 1 out. Bottom half of the 6th, if you're just joining us on YouTube, 5-3 Trojans lead. This one a breaking pitch, runs too far inside, taken for a ball, 1-0. Still a runner aboard here for the Trojans is Dylan Jones. At first in the second delivery, high and out. Check swing for Fiore, and now a 2-0 count. McDougal settles, fires, high and out again, 3-0. As Fiore, batting .339, has driven in 21 RBIs this season. 3-0 count, the pitch, right down the middle, taken for a strike, 3-1. So McDougal able to recalibrate, bring it right down the pike. And with a 3-1 count at Jones at first. McDougal deals, not in time, swung on and missed. Fiore now has himself a full count. Three-two pitch. Fouled straight back. And out of play. Full count, one down in the bottom half of the sixth. Trojans with the lead, 5-3. Runner at first. McDougal on the bump. From the stretch, delivers. Called third strike. Looked high and out to me, but called third strike is Fiore. Yikes. Goes down looking. And now 2 down for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the sixth. And Vince Leonardo Benavidez, the DH, steps in. Got hit by a pitch in the second. Grounded out in the fourth. First one right down the middle, take it for a strike. That first hit by a pitch in the second inning gets an RBI because the bases were juiced. And on a 2-0 count, caught one right across the number on his back. The pitch swung on and missed. 0-2 for Leonardo Benavidez. 0-2, 2 outs. Runner on second. The pitch from McDougal. Swung on, struck him out. At the end of 6 full innings, no runs on no hits. Trojans still lead 5-3. Top of the seventh coming up after this. J.R. Luttrell will start out the top half of the seventh inning as Sammy Bradfield will step in for the Catamounts. He walked back in the third and flied out of play in the fifth. Luttrell with 6 strikeouts in this game. First delivery, hook, low for a ball. Ball 1. Second pitch from Luttrell, just outside. Much to the chagrin of the home crowd here. 2-0. Third pitch is out of the zone, low, 3-0. So Bradfield, who has already walked, will settle in. The pitch just misses, and Bradfield is aboard here in the top half of the seventh inning And the top of the order comes back around. Cam Cole will step in for the Catamounts, hit a double and scored back in the third. And then after drawing a full count, flied out to the right fielder back in the fifth. There's going to be a mound visit here. Question is whether or not Luttrell's day is done. They've had guys up in the bullpens, out of my viewpoint. But they're going to work the mound visit timer here a little bit long just to get a couple more warm-up pitches down in the bullpen. For the relief pitcher. Strong outing for J.R. Luttrell. His day is done. 6 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, 6 full innings of work. And the Trojans will go to their bullpen. Trojans go to their bullpen, and Logan Hokuff from Corona, California. Went to Corona Centennial, 6'1", 205. The freshman bats right, throws right. Also plays a little shortstop. He's thrown 8 innings this season. And will stand in here in the 7th inning. Sammy Bradfield drew a walk in the first at bat, which ended J.R. Luttrell's day. 6 innings of full work, 6 strikeouts, gave up 3 earned runs. That's a quality start, especially when the bats are rolling behind you with Dylan Jones hitting a home run, as well as Greg Borges. You have to trust in your bullpen, and Logan Hokuff will get a couple warm-up pitches in here. So I mentioned this is the second meeting of these two teams. Last meeting was a 9-8 Trojans victory, where Allegheny College of Maryland scored 6 runs in the 9th to come roaring back to take down the Catamounts. And stepping in top of the order back, Cam Cole will see the first delivery from Logan Hokuff. Hokuff deals. This one low and in the dirt. Runner stays at first. And it's a 1-0 count. 5-3 Trojans lead here. Hokuff checks the runner at first and deals. Just out of the zone high, 2-0. For those of you watching online, Sunday, April 23rd at 11:30, they will officially dedicate the field and rename the field after Steve Bizarnik has a pitch out. After Cole squared around a bunt, the pitch was high and able to throw it down and check the runner at first, holds the runner at first, but it's a 3-0 count to Cam Cole. Steve Bizarnik Field, 11:30 a.m., right before the Trojans will play 2, hosting Anne Arundel. 3-0 pitch, gets a piece of the zone, 3-1. Bradfield at first. Second time he's been on the base paths. He scored back in the 3rd inning after drawing a walk. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, and this one's roped into the outfield. Could be into the alley. Diving and unable to make the play as the center fielder, as the runner's going to come to third. And on a beautiful effort for the center fielder, Cam Cole has his 2nd hit of the game, a double. 2nd double of the afternoon. Bradfield over to third, and 2 runners in scoring position as ranging over and diving out was Christian Toledo, just out of his reach. Second double for Cam Cole. And down 2 with 2 runners in scoring position and no one out. Catamounts have something cooking here on the road in the 7th. Center fielder Dakota Miller also hit a double back in the 3rd inning. Breaking pitch just misses. And Miller, 1-0 count. Miller's walked, flied out, doubled, and has driven in 2 RBIs, also scoring a run. Here's the pitch from Hokuff. This one misses low, 2-0. Hokuff trying to settle here. As Dakota Miller settles at the dish. Pitch from Hokuff. The hook gets enough of the strike zone. 2-1. Their first meeting, Miller went 2 of 6, drove in an RBI. It's a 2-1 count to Dakota Miller, who already has a double. 2 RBIs and a run scored back in the 3rd. Pitch from Hokuff. This one not in time, fouled over by the bullpen of Potomac State, out of play. So a 2-2 count here as Hokuff has battled back into this at bat and looking to stop the bleeding here in the top half of the 7th. The pitch just misses low. 3-2 full count. Payoff pitch here for Dakota Miller. Hokuff trying to work out of this jam. Runners at 3rd and 2nd, nobody out. 3-2 pitch. The hook fouls it straight back. Foul tip. And Dakota Miller at the dish continues to battle here. Worked to a full count before walking back in the 5th. But he's usually early in the count, getting his bat off the shoulder. 3-2 pitch here from Hokuff. Strike 3, got him looking. And now the Catamounts side of this of the stands doesn't appreciate it. Struck him out. Nice location for Dakota Miller, depending on what color blue you wear or what the trim color is. Either way, Jimmy Sadler now up. 2 on, 1 out. And Hokuff misses low for the first pitch to the shortstop. Sadler has struck out twice. Gotten aboard where he was stranded at 2nd back in the 3rd. Sadler went 1 for 3, drew 2 walks, and scored twice in their first meeting back on March 29th, where it probably wasn't this warm, but it was definitely this windy. Swung on and not in time. Sadler, big cut. It's a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 aboard, both in scoring position. Hokuff deals inside, called strike 2. 1-2 to Sadler. And now Hokuff in the driver's seat. Gets the sign and delivers. This one in the dirt, took a little bit off. Nice block that time by the catcher and Hunter Fiore. Able to make sure that didn't get past him 5-hole. And it's a 2-2 count. 2-2 to Sadler. Trojans looking to hold on to a 5-3 lead. Catamounts looking to erase that lead with 2 runners aboard. This one driven right over to the second baseman, plays it first, gets the out. One runner will come across. So Sammy Bradfield will score. It's a 5-4 game. But Sadler grounds out 4-3 for the out in the second half, out of this top of the seventh. Runner at third. 2 down. The pitch, this one's driven deep, way back there, and that one is a home run. As it got a piece of the outfielder's glove and continued over the wall. 2-run shot for Nick Rubenhall. Wow. Incredible effort by the left fielder, Daniel Burns, to come over and try and knock that one down at the warning track. But it's a home run. And just like that, that 5-3 lead for the Trojans is now a 6-5 deficit from 3 runs in this top half of the seventh inning. Morgan Little, first baseman, stands in, takes the first for a ball. He went 2 of 3 with 2 RBIs in their first meeting. In this game, he's flied out twice and struck out once. Second one, big cut. 1-1. Hokiff trying to get out of this inning. Deals. This one roped, just foul. Mendez tried to come up and grab that, but the ball was tailing out of play. It's now 1-2 to Morgan Little. Little also from Kaiser. 6'4", 235, left-handed sophomore. The pitch runs inside and in the dirt. Nice location from Hokiff trying to get him to chase, but it's a 2-2 count here. With the Trojans trailing by 1. 6-5 here in the seventh. Pitch from Hokiff to Little. This one fouled straight back. Stays 2-2. Little looking for his first hit of the game. The first baseman, lefty, stands in here. And Hokiff delivers, takes something off of him, struck him out. End of 6.5 innings. Catamounts do the damage and have the lead as we go into the bottom half of the seventh. Potomac State leads 6-5. 3 runs on 2 hits. Bottom half of the 7th inning for the Trojans, looking to get back into this game after surrendering 3 runs in the top half of the inning. Potomac State leads 6-5. Ben McDougal back on the bump. And to start off the inning, Daniel Burns takes the first pitch for a strike. Burns has flied out twice in this game. The first was a sac fly that scored 1. Second pitch, this one's driven into the gap. Back there, center fielder under it. As a nice play by Dakota Miller. Burns put a charge into that one, but unfortunately Miller was able to get over and make the play for the first out of the inning. Top of the order coming up for the Trojans. Christian Toledo, who singled and scored back in the 5th. His 4th at bat coming, and the first one breaking pitch in the dirt. He takes for the first ball. One 0 count from McDougal to Toledo. Swung on, big cut from Toledo, not in time, 1-1. Pitch from McDougal, swung on, same location. Toledo with another big cut, but not in time. Is now 1-2 count, 1 down here, the bottom half of the 7th. One-two pitch, out of the zone and all the way back to the backstop. Now 2-2. Toledo 1 for 3 in this game. Struck out, flown out, singled and scored. With the free space, that's nearly a bingo. Pitch from McDougal. This one just misses low. Full count. And McDougal, who has 2 strikeouts in his first inning of work in the 6th, deals. Able to fight it off down and low in the zone. Inside is Toledo. Out of play. Stays full count. Toledo batting .432, 4 home runs, 28 RBIs. Payoff pitch from McDougal. Hits it right back up the middle, and Toledo's aboard again. Second straight at bat with Toledo getting aboard. Big single to start things out. Here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 1 down, a runner aboard. Toledo now 2 for 4, and Greg Borges, the shortstop, will stand in. Last time that Toledo singled, Borges sent one deep for a home run. He's 1 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. McDougal deals. Borges high and out, rather high and caught a piece of the strike zone. 0-1. Toledo at first. McDougal's going to check the runner at first base. But Toledo really didn't even have that healthy of a lead to begin with, and he's back safely. Oh, 1 pitch from McDougal. High and in, misses. 1-1. As I mentioned, Borges batting .308, 3 home runs, counting today. 3 dingers. You can't really put one in his wheelhouse, or he's going to deposit it somewhere beyond the evergreens. Checking the runner back at first, 1-1 count. McDougal battling. Gave up a walk in his first inning of work in the 6th before striking out the last 2 batters to get out of a jam. Toledo's at first. Borges at the dish. 1-1 pitch. This one fouled straight back. 1-2. That seriously hit my car. I can't make it up. It too hot my back bumper. That's awesome. Maybe Roop will cut me a check. 1-2 pitch to Borges. Big hook. And strike 3. So Borges goes down swinging, out number 2, and Nazir Mendez will step in. He's grounded out twice, struck out once, 0 for 3 in this game. But the big first baseman who I've mentioned almost ad nauseum, number 8th in the country in D2 JUCO men's baseball for average, 484 and 27th in RBIs already, driving in 43 as the runner goes down to second. Throw down a second, not in time. Toledo will take the bag. His 12th of the year. So that puts one in scoring position for Mendez. Big spot for the big first baseman to possibly drive in a run and tie this one up. It's 6 apiece. 1-0 pitch from McDougal, just outside, 2-0. McDougal will check the runner at second and deliver from the stretch. Right down the middle, taken for a strike, 2-1. Two and one, 2 out. Runner at second. The pitch to Mendez. Big hook, tried to get him to chase, but Mendez holds firm. 3-1. If I'm McDougal, I'm going to have to throw one somewhere close. But the problem with that is Mendez and his average is dangerous. The pitch. This one chopped over to the second baseman who will charge, flip underhanded to first, and Mendez goes down 4-3 for the out and the end of the 7th inning. After 7 full innings of play, Potomac State leads 6-5. Trojans go down on 0 runs and 1 hit. We'll be back for the top half of the 8th after this. Top half of the eighth, 6, 7, 8 batters due up. Chris Sutton will step in for the Catamounts and a new pitcher, John Dima for the Trojans. Right-handed pitcher, 11 appearances, 2 wins, 0 losses. First pitch right down the middle, taken for a strike. Catamounts lead the Trojans 6-5. Second one swung on and missed, 0-2. Sutton got aboard, got on due to an error back in the 6th inning. He's grounded out, struck out. It's with an 0-2 count. A pitch from Dima in the dirt, 1-2. Trojans trail 6-5. Their first meeting, Trojans traveled big deep into the 9th before plating 6 runs. And escaping with a 9-8 win. Chopper to the short base. The shortstop, that is. It must have caught a rock and pops up over the head of Borges. So aboard is Sutton with a little help from Mother Nature. And Sutton is aboard with his first hit of the afternoon. And Zach Brennan will step in. He's flied out, struck out, and walked, where he was stranded back in the 6th. Runner on first, and Dima delivers. Squaring around a bunt, but bringing it back. Looked like that was a strike, but must have just missed. 1-0. Potomac State willing to play a little bit of small ball to get a runner in scoring position. Looking for their 16th win of the season at 15-10. Squares again. This one he gets wood on down the third baseline. Barehanded stab. Throws over in time. Pretty play by Dylan Jones. He came charging in. Barehanded throw over to first. Pretty play. As Jones has done a little of everything in this game. Hit a solo shot to tie up the game in the 4th. Singled in the 2nd. And a big-time play down the third baseline to get the first out of the inning. But the runner does advance to second, and Potomac State has a runner in scoring position. First pitch to Cois Quintana. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Quintana has struck out and then made the final out on a fielder's choice after grounding out in the 3rd. Pitch to Quintana high and just misses. 1-1. One out here in the top half of the 8th. Chris Sutton stands at second. The pitch to Quintana slams on the brakes, and the problem with that pitch is it's in the same location as the last one. This one's called a strike. 1-2. I think both fans, coaches, don't really agree with the inconsistent strike zone, but play through it with a 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Can they appeal down? They appeal, and they say did not come around. John Dima, not a big fan. So it's 2-2. 2-2 count. Dima from the stretch to Quinton outside, 3-2. Quintanilla has worked his second full count. Last time he did the same, it was back in the 4th where he struck out to end the inning. Dima delivers. Swung on, struck him out. Throw down to first as the ball was in the dirt. And Quintanilla strikes out for the 2nd time in this game. And 2 down now here in the top half of the 8th. And Sammy Bradfield from Kaiser, West Virginia, steps in. He's walked twice, scored twice, and flied out back in the 5th. Runner in scoring position. First delivery to Bradfield, right down the pike, taken for a strike. Runner at second is Chris Sutton. After he got aboard in the first at bat of this half inning, looked like a routine grounder towards the shortstop before it caught something and popped up over Borges' head and into the outfield. 0-1 pitch, taken for strike 2. Oh and 2, 2 outs. Trojans trying to hold the Catamounts to 6 runs on their side of the scoreboard in the visitor section. The pitch out of the zone gets Bradfield to chase, and the throw down to Mendez as John Dima K's 2. And at the end of 7.5 innings, the Trojans hold the Catamounts to a 1-run lead. 6-5, bottom half of the 8th, coming back after this. Bottom half of the 8th inning for the Trojans. Julian Jennings, the right fielder, will start things off for the Trojans. Got a board back in the second, flied out in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 5th. But defensively, he's been absolutely huge in that right field, making a couple different big plays on defense for the Trojans thus far in this game. McDougal deals. First pitch outside, but gets enough of the strike zone for the first strike of this at bat. Third inning for McDougal. Second pitch to Jennings, high and outside, 1-1. Trojans trail the Catamounts 6-5 here at the Rock, soon to be Steve Bizarnik Field. As the pitch right down the middle from McDougal, Jennings, big swing, not in time, 1-2. 1-2 count. Here's McDougal's delivery to Jennings, a hook, he gets a piece of it, chopper up the middle, coming over to make the play in time. Nice charge and a nice job that time from Jimmy Sadler, showing off the wheels as a chopper up the middle, and Sadler comes across the field to make the play with momentum and get Jennings at first. 6-3 on your scorecard, first out of the inning, and Andrew Lynch from Frankfort High School will step in for his 4th at bat. He's walked twice, one of which he had to wear back in the 2nd inning. Walked in the 6th before getting out on a fielder's choice. Takes the first one for a ball, 1-0 count. Second pitch right down the middle to Lynch, taken for a strike, 1-1. Lynch batting .321 this year. 1-1 pitch. This one fouled straight back. Oh. It hit a Jeep this time. Not my car. Hit a Jeep. 1-2 to Andrew Lynch. Looking for his first hit. He has been aboard twice. Drew a walk. Then was plunked. It's the 1-2 pitch. High and out. 2-2. 2-2. One out here. Catamounts holding on to a 6-5 lead. Pitch to Lynch. Outside again. 3-2 here. It's got to be McDougal's MO in this game. 2 straight pitches. He's went high and out before dialing back in. So I feel like Lynch is going to get one to hit here. McDougal shown good velocity. Right down the middle. Struck him out. Nice pitch. And right down the pike, Andrew Lynch goes down on a full count pitch. And some gas from Ben McDougal. His 4th K of this game. Now batting for the Trojans, Dylan Jones. Jones has homered in this game, singled, or he was stranded, and got aboard on his last at bat on a fielder's choice. Also defensively made a nice barehanded play down the third base line. It's the first pitch. He ropes down the third base line. That's a fair ball. Into the corner, Jones wants 2. Showing off the wheels, and he's going to have himself a double, but there must be trouble down the third base line as he's going to take 3. A stand-up triple for DJ. Big swing and a runner aboard for the Trojans. The home plate umpire did signal that it was a fair ball. And out of my viewpoint, Catamounts had a hard time getting that ball back into the infield. They're going to say it was out of play, so Jones will go back to second. So it's a double for Jones. And the Trojans, with 2 down here, have a runner in scoring position for Hunter Fiore. McDougal checks the runner at second, then deals. Fiore, nice crack right at the shortstop. Sadler over with it and in time, as it's a 6-3 out that ends the 8th inning. Trojans no runs on 1 hit. And at the end of 8, as we go into the final frame, Catamounts lead 6-5. We're back after this. Welcome back. Final frame, top of the 9th. Catamounts come to the plate. As it'll be the top of the order. Cam Cole will start things off, the third baseman. And a new pitcher for the Trojans is Noah Williamson. The sophomore righty will come in, try and shut things down for the Trojans. Williamson has started 6 times. He's 5-3 on the year. with 1 save and 3 complete games. 48 strikeouts. Averages 9.6 Ks per 9. So head coach Mason Hine saying if we're going to shut things down, we're going to go to one of our aces here and hope for some bottom of the ninth magic as Cam Cole will come to the plate. Cole has 2 doubles and 2 flyouts in this one. He's also scored twice. Top of the ninth, Williamson delivers the first, just outside, 1-0. 6-5, Potomac State leads. And Williamson deals. This one high and in on Cole, 2-0. Nice 80-degree day here at The Rock. Winds a whipping. And Cole squares around a bunt on a 2-0 count. And Williamson gets the first strike. This one hits the zone, 2-1. Williamson deals. This one right down the middle, hits right at Borges. Borges up with it. Throws over to first to Mendez in time. 6-3 out. Cam Cole goes down, but still a productive day at the dish for the third baseman. 2 for 5. With 2 runs. And to the plate, Dakota Miller will step in. Hit a double that scored 2 back in the third, walked in the 5th, struck out in the 7th, and flied out in the 1st. 1 out. First pitch to Miller from Williamson. This one chopped over towards Jones, tries to scoop it on the charge, but unable to make the play. And Dakota Miller is aboard. First runner for the Catamounts here in the top half of the ninth. So the Catamounts have a runner at first in Dakota Miller. And Jimmy Sadler showed off some defense in that last half inning. Will step in where he's looking for his second hit of the game. Got aboard in the 3rd, struck out twice, and then grounded out in the 7th. First pitch from Williamson outside. Ball 1. 1 down, 1-0, 1 aboard. In the top half of the ninth, Trojans trying to shut down the Catamounts, show a little magic in the bottom half. Williamson's second just misses, high and out. That's a tight zone. Williamson deals. This one low, but gets a piece of the strike zone. 2-1. Miller with a decent lead at first. Williamson deals. This one is a high pop-up over by Mendez. He doesn't have to move much, but the wind is swirling, and Mendez is under it. Sadler will fly out to the first baseman for the second out of this inning with a runner at first. 2 down, 1 on. And number 9, Nick Rubenhall, who homered back in the 7th, will step in. It was a 3-run shot back in the 7th that took the fielder's glove with it over the fence. Runner goes, and he's up with the stolen base. So runner in scoring position for Nick Rubenhall in the 4 slot, DHing. He's got 4 RBIs in this game. Had an RBI back in the 3rd on a single. And that 3-run shot as Williamson goes right after him. Foul tip, 1-1. 1-1 count, 2 down. Trojans trying to get out of this inning, down 1. In prime position for the bottom half of the 9th. Williamson checks the runner and deals. This one, nice pitch. Took something off of it, but pops the mitt. 1-2. Out 2 strikes to Reuben Hall. A dangerous batter, as we've seen already in this game. But knowing Noah Williamson, he is not scared. He's going to come right at him. 1-2 pitch. Throws a hook. This one's a chopper to Bordas. He's got a weight on it. Hurries it over to Mendez in time. Got him. Nice play from Greg Borges. That'll end the top half of the ninth, and the Trojans down 1. Go into the bottom half of the ninth with the last bats in a 1-run deficit. When we come back, can the Trojans spike a win and do it again? We'll find out after this. Last bats for the Trojans. First pitch to Vince D. Leonardo Benavidez. Taken inside for a ball. Benavidez got plunked in the second inning, his first at bat, which also was an RBI. This one's over to Sadler. Throws it and in time to get Benavidez at first. Tell you what, the shortstops for both of these teams have been sensational. Borges for the Trojans, Sadler for the Catamounts. Strong defense. As the Trojans down to just 2 outs here. And Daniel Burns in the 9 slot, the left fielder, will step in. Hit a sac fly in the second, flied out twice. So he can put the bat on the ball. As McDougal's first offering is low. Ball 1. Pitch from McDougal. This one right down the middle, favoring a little bit of the inner part of the strike zone. 1-1. Big spot for Burns here. McDougal's pitch. Took something off of that one. Breaking pitch gets him swinging. 1-2. One-two pitch. This one's popped on the right side. Second baseman ranging out into right field and under it after a bobble. Retires the second batter. 2 outs. And Christian Toledo at the plate for the Trojans. He's got 2 hits in this game. Scored once. Flied out and struck out. But Toledo has already started some rallies thus far in this game, and he's batting .432. First pitch from McDougal. Hook catches the outer corner of the plate. Strike 1. Trojans down to their last out. Pitch from McDougal. This one hooks inside and low. 1-1. McDougal wasting no time, deals to Toledo. This one on the outer part and just misses 2-1. McDougal 2-1 pitch. This one a hook and able to foul it off is Toledo. And it's a 2-2 count to Toledo after fouling that one off. McDougal from the windup, the pitch. Breaking pitch loses it out of the zone, and it's now a full count. Three-two pitch. Swung on, struck him out. And that'll do it. Trojans go down in order. And the Catamounts hold on for the 6-5 win. McDougal gets the win in relief. And Hokuff will take the loss, I believe, for the Trojans. 6-5 your final score. Thanks for joining us here on Allegheny College of Maryland YouTube. Scared Egan signing off.